I've been surfing for over 20 years, and like you, I've taken for granted the ease with which we're now able to plan our surfing days and weeks in advance. Gigabytes of meteorological data, which is sifted into an easy-to-digest report, has made it easy for the everyday surfer to distill a surf forecast. But today, I want to delve deeper into the matrix of wave science and wave forecasting to see how they work. I want to know, how do waves form? What impacts their quality by the time they arrive to us? Why are they so different all over the world, and how on earth can we, you and me, develop a routine for getting in touch with the rhythms of Mother Nature so that we're on top of every swell every time?
There's a tropical cyclone coming, so we've come to the Superbank to try and get some long right-handers. It's going to be sick.
This video is brought to you by Surfline, my favourite forecasting site. More about them, including how you can get a special deal on their annual subscription, at the end of the clip.
The scientific definition of a wave is energy that will travel through a substance or material without actually disturbing the material. And in our case, for surfing waves, that material would be the ocean or the water in the ocean, and the energy that travels through it is the wave. They're generated by winds that go over the open ocean surface, and that energy from the wind is transferred into the deep water as swell. And swell is then pushed out from the wind field, and it travels thousands of kilometers across the open ocean until it breaks on our beaches as breaking waves, and that's what we surf.
Katie Jackson is a Surfline forecaster who's originally from California but now lives in Australia. I've brought her in to help me get the most out of this upcoming cyclone swell here on the East Coast.
When you look at the wave quality as far as the swell, we're looking at swell height, the way the swell is approaching, so swell direction and swell period. And then we have the local conditions, which would be winds, tides, bathymetry. So there's offshore and nearshore conditions that we look at. When those waves do break away from the wind generation field, you'll start to see longer period waves will propagate ahead in the swell, and those longer period waves are actually traveling faster. So you could think of it as a marathon, and everyone starts at the beginning of the race, and then the faster ones are going to go out ahead in the field, and they're going to arrive at the beach first. So those are the long period waves. They travel faster. And then you'll start to see the mid period waves and then shorter period waves as the swell kind of continues to track in. Look at that. Oh.
As we're sort of approaching the end of this swell, you can actually see the period is a lot closer together, and it's not actually wrapping into the bay anymore. Looks really good at the top, but down here is a bit small, and because it's small, it's really fast. So probably not ideal, but I'm actually thinking that that's a good sign for some other spots, some other beach breaks. So maybe we can go and find some waves without so many people out.
The seafloor will pull in waves or make waves behave in very different ways. So We could have a point break where a short period swell may not wrap, but a long period swell will completely wrap and refract around the point. Swell characteristics will really work out one area or one beach better than the other.
With all the extra info Katie's given me, I'm thinking that with the shorter period tail end of this swell, some different spots down the coast are going to be opening up as good options for surf. I've actually been keeping my eye on one particular piece of sand that seems to be forming into a really nice right-hander.
Bathymetry is a word that defines the mapping of the seafloor. So if you look at a topography map, it's the elevation above sea level, and if you look at a bathymetry map, it's the elevation below sea level.
When you're relying on sand bottom breaks as opposed to reefs, you'll be dependent on the changing sand patterns on those breaks. It can mean that on one swell, you've got a straight closeout, and then 2 weeks later, you've got a beautiful right-hand bank. It sure makes these moments special when they come. So as the swell's progressed, it's gone more and more south. So we've actually come south to track it and get closer to its source. And it's looking really fun, and there's not that many people around. I don't know why I'm like being hushed, but I just can't believe it. I've been watching this sand for a while now, and it looks ideal. This spot's really handling the south swell. It's wrapping in perfectly. So I'm going to take out the mid-length and we're going to have a cracker.
There's a few different ways of forecasting, and we have at Surfline, we have both a computer model that will calculate the swell height and direction mathematically, but we also have human forecasters and human reporters. So we're able to look at these mathematical calculations and also put the human element into the forecast. Computer models might be updated every 6 hours or every 3 hours, and humans, we could be at the beach looking at it and knowing, oh no, that's not actually what's happening. Be there on the spot. With our surf cams, that's what we can look at it right then and there and know, okay, well that's what was forecasted based on a computer and an algorithm, but this is what's actually happening.
So Kale, how did you go with the swell?
It was really good. I feel like I've never paid so much attention to that many different variables in a swell before, which probably means I've totally undercapitalized on swells in the past. I've had a bunch of different waves, and it's just been an awesome time. It's been really good.
I'm so glad you got waves. And so are you still using the app?
Yes, so I've gone through and I've done what you told me. I've added a bunch of my sort of go-to spots to the list, and not just here. I've added them across Australia because obviously with my work traveling around, it's important for me to be able to sort of keep an eye on what's happening all over the place and arrange my schedule based on the surf, as opposed to, trying to squeeze surfing in every now and then. So no, it's been really helpful actually. Day to day, I'm just going, what's the tide doing? What's the wave doing? Okay, I'm gonna work then, I'm gonna surf then, and I'm just getting the best of it all.
Just go surf all day, every day.
I wish.
This video was brought to you by Surfline, and as a big nod of appreciation to my subscribers, they're offering you guys a super special deal on a premium membership via the link in the description below. As always, remember to hit the like button and let me know in the comments, where are your favourite spots to hunt down a swell. You can join me on Instagram as well, @KalesBroccoli. Until next time, thanks for watching.